Welcome to Monday Night Meat and Potatoes. The podcast where three guys with big opinions and even bigger appetites go head-to-head on all things food, movies, sports, and whatever else gets us fired up. We blind taste test the best and worst colas, barbecue sauces, peanut butters, and those weird pickle-flavored snacks you see at the store but never dare to try. We rank them, we review them, and sometimes even surprise ourselves. Because trust us, we did not expect Casey Masterpiece to take the crown. It's not just food. We're talking movies, sports, personal stories, and whatever madness is going on in the world. One thing's for damn sure. We're loud, we're funny, and we're not afraid to tell it like it is. Monday Night Meat and Potatoes. Now, here are your hosts, James, Fridge, and Tommy.
You know, I definitely like that we have had meat and potatoes on this podcast so far.
Yeah, we did.
The potatoes from Kroger suck, though. Anyway, Monday Night Meat and Potatoes. Welcome back after, a couple weeks hiatus. We had our episode drop last week, and we're back on schedule this week. So that's super exciting. How's it going, Fridge? Tommy, how you guys doing today?
What's up, everybody?
Going okay.
Going okay?
Yeah.
Fridge, did you ever get your crown fixed?
No, tomorrow, 3.
Tomorrow? Okay.
Hopefully.
Let's hope.
So I can sleep.
Yeah. You have tended to do some self-dental work in the past.
Dremel, screwdriver.
You literally took a Dremel to your own tooth.
I did.
What bit did you use?
It was the cone-shaped like grinding bit.
Jesus Christ, man. And did you, just file it down, or did you remove the crown? What did you do that for?
No, I broke a tooth, and it was sharp, so I ground the sharp edge off the tooth. But then, when they did the crown, it didn't feel right, so I stuck a screwdriver under it and popped it out.
Jesus, man.
My God.
I had my first tooth pulled last week, and no matter how much numbing they gave me,
it hurt.
It still fucking hurts. I don't know how you did that.
It hurt.
Were you drunk? Did you take a morphine pill? Did you Tylenol?
Dremel I did in the bathroom at home, but the screwdriver I did at work.
Jesus, man.
My God.
All right. That is just wicked as hell. I'm sorry. You know what, though? Let's just get right into it. Speaking of food, what we do best.
That was not me.
That was me, finally. Anyway, I want to know, and this kind of goes along with what we did a few weeks back with our perfect fast food meal. Tell me about your final meal if you're on death row.
Oh, boy.
And I know we've had to have at least thought about this in our life.
Yeah. Well,
I don't know.
Is it like one entree, one...
Whatever you want.
Because...
It's literally whatever you want. Because, if you look at, famous serial killers, you have someone like John Wayne Gacy who got a bucket of fried chicken and strawberries. But then you have other people who have gotten, just a cup of coffee. You've seen ice cream and lobster and this, that, and the other. Typically, from what I understand, it's as long as that the chef or the cook can make it, if it's available. And usually, they're setting, a $100 limit nowadays. But we're going to ignore all those fucking things. Just give me what you'd want to eat before you die.
Okay. Well, there is a place in Madison Heights, because we're in, we're casting.
We don't have the
from
death
Michigan.
row here.
Yeah.
Death row records.
They have... I love their sweet and sour. It's a Chinese takeout place called the Whopper. It's just a little takeout place. I love their sweet and sour. So I would want some of their sweet and sour chicken with their fried rice.
Not sweet and sour pork.
I've never had their sweet and sour pork, but their sweet and sour chicken. I actually, when we first went there for the first time, we ordered almond boneless, and they gave us sweet and sour by accident. And we fell in love with their sweet and sour.
Is it the sauce? Is it the chicken?
It's the sauce. I have not found any sweet and sour that is comparable to that. So that's why I say I would go there for that sweet and sour.
Before you go on, describe the sweet and sour sauce. Is it orange? Is it red?
It's an orange sauce. It's more. I think they try to explain it to us because I asked them. You're the only one in the area that does like. I think it's more like a Cantonese, like a orange sauce. Because anywhere else I go, it's more of like a red sauce. But it is good.
You'll have to try Lotus Pond at 12 and Hoover.
They're very, very close. And then there's a place up on Shaner and Canal. Right now, I think it's Chang. I think it's Chang's. I want to say Chang's.
Fridge knows what
I
it is.
don't know the name.
Fridge took me and Shelby there, and I got their sweet and sour chicken. It was pretty good. There's also 13 and Hayes is Wing Wah.
Wing Wah. Okay,
And
I've heard about it. I haven't had it, though.
They have a really good orange sweet and sour sauce. Because I hate the red one.
I hate the red one.
Yeah.
And then just more nostalgia. First job. Love their sliders. It would be at least one Telway.
You want the whole Telway?
Just one Telway slider.
Okay, there you go.
One Telway slider. My mom's meatloaf. I'd have to have at least...
Mom, the meatloaf!
Meatloaf, Ma! I don't even know what she's doing in there. She's taught me how to make it, and I do it well, but it might be just because she makes it for me. It's easy. And then dessert, she makes it for me. I am not a big cakes and pie.
Cakes and pies.
But she makes
pies.
yeah, cakes and pies.
You win again, 6 games in a row.
Steak.
I think this has been a mistake. Did you say steak? No, mistake. Oh, I'm sorry. Sometimes I dial the wrong number. They should make a funnel for full-figured girls.
Yeah.
Have you ever thrown a toothpick down a volcano?
What? Nothing. Just making conversation. Sorry, I just had steak an hour ago. Or no, pudding. It was pudding.
Pudding.
The Chinese place by my house is Wingly.
Is Wingley okay?
Okay.
So yeah, that's the one you're talking about.
Yes.
Canal and
Yeah.
Shaner.
But a dessert. She makes what is called a punch bowl cake. It's like vanilla cake, bananas, whipped cream.
Did you say vanilla?
Or
I'm 99% sure you said vanilla.
I meant vanilla pudding, and then it's white. White. Cake.
You're hearing it too, right?
Vanilla.
Vanilla.
Yeah, I say vanilla.
Like Vin Diesel?
Like milk and Pello? Vanilla?
Vanilla?
Is it vanilla?
Vanilla.
Vanilla.
Yeah, vanilla.
Yeah, I say vanilla.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
You want some milk?
And a
But I say milk. I do say milk.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
You just said it twice, 2 different ways.
I'm so confused.
I don't say milk. I say milk.
Milk.
I say milk.
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 But yeah, vanilla. White cake. Vanilla.
There you go.
Okay. Pudding. It's got pineapple. Whipped cream. She makes it for me for my birthday every year. I absolutely love it. So it'd be 2 things for my mom, and then 2 things probably outside.
Right on. Fridge? Other than, a case of Red Bull, what are you going with?
Case of Red Bull. No, it would probably be sweet tea, steak, potato.
Just going that old school meat and veg. Mm-hmm. Right on. I actually, I just ate at Revel Steak at Motor City Casino. It's their new steakhouse that opened up in the past year. Really good steak. French onion soup. For a steakhouse, you got to have good French onion. Theirs was very underwhelming. They had good cheesy scallop potatoes. Those were delicious. It was a 4-cheese blend. They had a jumbo cocktail shrimp that I got, and they brought out horseradish and cocktail sauce. I always mix them, and that was some spicy, potent fucking horseradish. It cleared my sinuses real quick. So everything was really good. Shelby got farfalle, some pasta with short rib. It was
Where's the best place you've ever had a steak?
Oh, gosh. Honestly, it's probably the steak I had at the steakhouse at the Bellagio in Las Vegas.
Okay.
A lot of Vegas steakhouses are really good. Locally, Mr. Paul's. It just takes the cake.
Man.
Mr. Paul's is the best steakhouse around here. They're $20 cheaper for a nice steak than you'll get anywhere else, like your Ruth's Chris. And
I was going Louis or Mr. Paul's.
I've never been to Louis. That's the one up at like 19 or 20 or
like 22, 23.
Is that the one on Gratiot?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm thinking. Yeah, I was thinking of the one that might have been at like 21 in Hayes, but that's a different chop house.
If I was to say locally, I totally agree with you. Outside, it was... I know you probably will laugh, but I was in Chicago.
Hostess cupcakes.
No. I figured you were going to say that I was going to have a Hostess cupcake as one of my last meals. And I know I'm totally...
That means it's not a 10.
Yeah. I know I'm derailing what we originally were talking about. But I was in Chicago, and we went to Hard Rock Cafe in Chicago, and I got a steak at the Hard Rock Cafe. And at that time, that was my best steak that I've ever had. And I was absolutely floored how good the steak was there.
You know, I think Scott, our buddy Scott, said at one point that the Cheesecake Factory had one of the best steaks he's ever had.
Yeah.
I've never eaten a steak from there. I had, I think we talked about it a few weeks ago. My first time ever there was just an awful experience.
Yeah.
So if they didn't have delicious cheesecake, I just couldn't even fucking stomach it.
Can't leave out Morton's either.
Morton's is good. I prefer the Morton's that I know is the one at on Crooks and 16 Mile.
Yeah, 16 Crooks, yeah.
Right next to it is the
Melting Pot?
The Melting Pot, and I fucking love that place. That's
fondue.
a nice fondue place. Me and Tommy actually used to work in that building. We got 25% off if we ate there, so I ate there probably every other week. But Morton's is good. I put that above like a Ruth's Chris or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
Or a new one in the game though, Sullivan's. Has anyone been there?
I have not been there yet.
I saw the gift cards at Costco the other day. You can get a $100 gift card for like $80. I'm like, it might be worth trying for $20 off. I mean, that's a 20% discount on a high-end steak place. Anyway.
Yeah, sorry. I derailed.
No, you're good. It happens. Fridge. We're going back steak, potato, Red Bull, sweet tea. What are you going dessert here? Side dishes? Anything else?
And a s'more blizzard.
A s'more blizzard.
So, graham cracker, chocolate. Is it chocolate ice cream or vanilla ice cream? I don't know. I've never had it.
I do it with chocolate ice cream.
So, chocolate ice cream, graham cracker, and marshmallow?
Yeah, it's got like the little whippy stuff in it.
Right on. I'm not a big blizzard person. If I'm going like a cold dessert, the blue coconut cream slush from Sonic. It's like a blue raspberry coconut slush mixed with vanilla ice cream, and it's just so fucking good. And I hate coconut.
Yeah, if I'm going to like an ice cream shop, it's usually a slush, or I'm boring and I will get just like a twist dipped in cherry or butterscotch.
Butterscotch is great.
Yeah.
Caramel and butterscotch for sure. I guess that brings me.
Yeah.
And I got to go with a dragon roll, sushi dragon roll.
Okay.
Which is eel avocado on top of a California roll with eel sauce. Fucking love them. I got to have some Asian food in me more than just sushi. So I probably will be going with like a Bangkok chicken Thai extra hot from my favorite place, which is Spicy Thailand here in Warren, 11 and Van Dyke. Amazing Bangkok chicken. So I got some sushi. I got some Asian Thai chicken, and beyond that, I'm really torn. I'm either going with a red velvet cupcake or a bumpy cake.
Oh, I forgot about bumpy cake.
Bumpy cake is a weakness for me. Again, I'm going to bring up Motor City because I just left there today. But they have a sweets place in the middle of their food court, and they call it like a different name than bumpy cake because it's trademarked. But
yeah,
they have a cupcake bumpy cake.
Mm-hmm.
And it was right next to a red velvet cupcake. And I'm like, decisions. And then I ended up getting a pineapple upside down cake anyway, so it didn't fucking matter anyway. So, speaking of, though, I'll tell you, just a little snippet. You guys know I'm probably a heathen and addicted to gambling. Not as much as someone in amongst our friends group who literally blew $20,000 in one day the other day. And he doesn't have that money. He's putting it on his credit card. I'm sorry if you're listening. You're an idiot. Stop doing that. I'm at least gambling within my needs a little bit here. But I'm also an enabler because I'm asking him to go. Anyway, I went crazy and lost my ass last night. And then I told you this a minute ago. Lost my ass. I took my mom down there for a Christmas gift finally because, it's been that fucking difficult to get down there. and lost my ass. Went back upstairs. I'm hanging out with Shelby. We eat our steak. We blah blah blah. Just hang out. She falls asleep. I'm like, well, you got $300 left. So I went downstairs and sat at a blackjack table and slow burned the blackjack dealer from 10:30 p.m. until like 6 a.m. and won almost all my money back. So did that. Went to bed for like an hour. Woke up. Hit a slot machine. Won 300 more. Came home. Went online. Hit like an $800 bonus. Then a $700 bonus. And then like so. For anyone telling you don't gamble, only if you lose. I know you want to learn blackjack.
Yeah.
Do you know how to play blackjack, Fridge? Like the real way?
Not the real way.
So you just know, get to 21 before the dealer and don't break.
Stop at 17.
Okay.
On a scale of 1 to 10, I'm like a 5 as far as knowing.
I would love to, I'll even fucking bankroll you guys. You
Yeah.
guys play how I teach you. We'll split the winnings. I'll bankroll you, and we'll take over a fucking blackjack dealer table, and I'll teach you how to play.
And I'm so down.
So I'll give you $200, and if you fucking walk out 500, you get $250 in your pocket, and I get $250. So I think that's fair. Because I take all the risk of losing, you take no risk.
Yeah.
But winning all this money, it doesn't help the fact that I don't have a fucking paycheck right now until I start my new job. I got to pee in a cup in front of a lady today, so
Probably not the first time.
No, you know what? You guys shower with your old ladies ever?
Yeah.
I mean, I personally don't like showering with my old lady. There's a reason behind it. I don't think the woman needs to see me scrub my asshole like a man. I get in there dirty and deep and fucking vigorous.
Yeah, it's not. I don't know.
I put lye on top of a cactus and just scrub my asshole. Like, you got to get in deep. And by the way, when you wipe, do you wipe to the second sphincter?
I go as deep as I can.
You go knuckles deep?
Not knuckles deep, but like you got to get like a half an inch up your anus because there's two sphincters and one will hold poop. If you never wipe not good enough and later you're like, why is my ass itchy? And you wipe and you're like, oh, there's still brown here.
I go as deep as I can.
Can I gotta ask you, Tommy.
Yeah.
This is a bit of a personal question.
Sure.
I've never reached this limit, and I know it exists. Did you ever get too big where it was hard to reach your own asshole?
Yes.
How did that work? Did you have to was it just hard, or did you have
No,
to,
there was a point when I hit the 600-pound mark where I couldn't do it sitting actually on the toilet. But it was one of those times that it was also on the size of the toilet. If they were like bigger toilets, it was fine. But when I get on the smaller, there was no way.
Round versus elongated.
Exactly. Then I would have to stand and put my foot up on like on a what do you call it? Tub. Thank you.
There you go.
Tub. That's an easy word.
He's Captain Morgan.
Yeah,
his asshole.
Exactly. And I'd have to do that. And then when I had surgery on my foot, I couldn't because when you're bigger, you lean down and put pressure on that leg. Becca had to assist, and she had to literally wipe my rear end for a long time. And then
you keep that woman around, man.
Yeah. And then the other way was when healing up is I would go and then I would use baby wipes and I would go lay on the bed and I would lay on my side and have to do it that way. But now I'm smaller, of course. Like I weighed in and I'm down 171 pounds and it's not an issue.
Congrats.
But yes, there was a time where it was.
At what point do we lose collectively enough weight to no longer call this Monday Night Meat and Potatoes, and now we have to be like Monday Night Celery and Carrots?
Never.
Never? We're just going to be meat and potatoes all the time? All right. And it goes to, there's other things. Like, I've never reached to that point, but like I got to the point where I was big enough where I was having a hard time fucking shaving my balls.
Yeah.
Like, it hurts your neck after an hour of staring down. You're like, you're moving your stomach around like, oh, there's still a patch of hair there.
Yeah.
I ended up.
Oh, I've had to deal with that a lot of times, so I'd have to lay a towel down on the bed and have to lay on my back, and then I just have to feel around, hold a mirror, you know.
Have you guys seen the movie This Is 40?
Yes.
There's this. So it's kind of a sequel to Knocked Up.
Yeah.
But you have to watch it, Fridge, and watch it with your wife because it is the realest movie ever made of like the dynamic of being two like 40-ish-year-old people with a couple kids. It's obviously amazing comedy. It's Leslie Mann and Paul Rudd, but it is just so real. You have like the daughter, fuck you, and there's our first fuck you, and like she's screaming about I don't fit in any clothes. You have daughters, so that kind of stuff happens or is coming if it hasn't happened yet. But there's just this scene where she comes home and Paul Rudd's laying on his back with a mirror and a phone, and he's like trying to see his own asshole, and he's like, there's something going on here. I need you to get up all in there and tell me what it is. She's like, can we just have some things that are secretive between us? And he goes,
I do that shit to Amanda though. I'm like, hey, check this shit out.
Yeah.
So he goes, listen, I watched you give birth twice. I need you to do this for me. And she just really quickly peers over the mirror and goes, it's a hemorrhoid. And he goes, thanks. And that's all it is. And in the movie, it's actually, it's perfect for us. In the movie, one of the funniest fucking things is they're trying to get healthy at one point because they just turned 40. So she's quitting smoking and they're trying to be nicer to each other. And Paul Rudd has a problem with cupcakes and sweets. So he'll do things that Paul Rudd, you're not a fat guy, but he has the fat guy tendencies in this movie where like in the beginning of the movie, he puts the cupcake in the sink and she's like, you don't think I saw you do that? Throw the cupcake away. And he's like, this cupcake? I'm not going to eat this cupcake. And he rinses it with water. He's like, I'm not going to eat it. And then she walks out and he still eats it.
Yeah.
Rinsed it under water. Or later when he's throwing cupcakes out to the trash outside, he lifts the garbage can, throws them away one by one. And the last one he's about to throw away and goes, bite. And he's about to throw it. He ends up eating like everything but like one little nibble and throws that away.
That way he threw all the cupcakes away. Yeah.
But that's fat guy tendencies.
Yeah.
I don't think I've brought this one up yet. And Jessica, Scott's wife, one of the only people that's ever admitted they've done this, and I've done this before. Have you ever gone, especially, it happens a lot more when you're dieting and you're ashamed of yourself. I'll get like a Chinese meal. Chinese and Asian food in general is my weakness. I will eat half my meal and go, what'd you do that for, man? And I'll throw it away. And like 2 hours later, I go, it's at the top of the garbage can and it's not dirty. And I pull it back out and I've eaten the rest of it. So, yes, I have eaten out of the garbage.
No, I don't think I've ever eaten out of the garbage because if I'm ever in that mindset, I
just order more?
No, I just finish it. I've never...
I'm already halfway done. I might as well.
Yeah, I've already committed. I've already committed.
You are a different breed there, Fridge.
I've already committed.
So, as embarrassing as that is, I have eaten top of the garbage Chinese food. Chinese food is the only one I've ever done it with, too. I've never, because it's my weakness. I don't like throw away a fucking half-eaten Coney dog and go, you know what? I need the rest of that Coney dog.
Yeah.
I've thrown like a bottle of soda, been like, I'm not drinking this, and then been like, I just emptied my trash. So
it's similar. It's in a closed container, and it's usually I tie it up in the bag and throw it away, so it's not contaminated.
Yeah.
And then sometimes you open it up and it's like, oh, I threw it away and it tipped on its side. And now the sweet and sour sauce mixed with the rice, and you got a nice little treat. Which I do. I always purposely when I get sweet and sour chicken typically. I will get an extra order of side of sweet and sour sauce, and I pour it over my rice. It makes it so fucking good.
Man, yeah.
I also dip those fucking rolls that Chinese restaurants have. I dip that in my sweet and sour sauce too. Roll? Yeah, the big dinner rolls. They're like giant Hawaiian rolls with like a Chinese
like
twist.
The super yeasty bread.
And actually, going back, we all like tea, right? I mean, oolong tea. It's probably my favorite tea of all time. The tea you get at a Chinese restaurant. I don't need any sugar. Just give me the tea.
The place next door to my work, they do that Thai tea. It's got like cream in it.
What is it called? It's like orangey, right? Kind of orangish brownish.
Kinda.
Why am I having a mind fart?
It's good though.
Yeah, it's delicious. It's creamy tea. I don't know, ginseng. It's
she came around with a pitcher and was like, "You want?" I was like, "Okay."
Spring roll versus egg roll. Which one?
Egg roll.
Egg.
I prefer spring roll.
Not a big fan of the spring roll.
I love them both. Don't get me wrong. I think I prefer the shell or the wrapping that comes with the spring roll. It's like more crispy, flaky. Egg rolls are good. Don't get me wrong, but an egg roll can be made or broken with a bad plum sauce.
I will. Yeah.
Like you go to a lot of it's like when you get to the mall Chinese restaurants, which they fucking give you 7 pounds of food for $4, and I don't know how it happens, and they make profit, but you get your egg roll with them, and they give you like one of those packs of like Leong's duck sauce. Like that is not the same.
No,
I don't. Duck sauce is okay. It's edible, but it's an apricot base versus a pineapple base for like a plum sauce or a plum base. Pineapple base for plum sauce.
I knew what you meant
moron. Sweet and sour is a pineapple base. So anyway, if you can't tell, I fucking love Chinese food and Asian food.
Yeah,
in general.
Asian food's the bomb, man.
So yeah, that's all I got about Asian food.
Yeah.
Okay, you know what? I'll bring this up.
Yeah.
Here's also the problem about when I said like I eat only Chinese food out of the garbage. Chinese food does not warm up well.
It does not.
No,
it is.
You got to finish it.
It is my least favorite leftovers. So I actually have this note in here, and it's a great segue now that I think about it. What's the best foods for leftovers, and what are leftovers that you just will not eat? And I brought this up last night. Again, I'm going to call back to the steakhouse I was at. If I go to a steakhouse, I will not take steak home. If I'm not finishing it,
rewarm it, it messes it all up.
Yeah, steak is awful rewarmed. It not only gets dried out, but you have to overcook it at that point. So I will force feed myself especially if I'm at an $80 steak place.
I'll name one food that used to be not the greatest as a leftover, but has came a long way to the invention of air frying was pizza. Because I would eat pizza just cold.
Was pizza to rewarm?
I always thought pizza was really good to rewarm.
Well, if you put it in the microwave, then the crust.
Stick it in the oven, get a little extra.
Yeah,
a lot of people throw it on a cast iron, just warm it up that way, crisp the bottom up a little bit.
I would just rather eat it cold. At that point,
when I did eat pizza, I'm fine with it. I like cold pizza. There's a lot of foods I eat cold. Pasta's fucking delicious cold.
Pasta is good cold.
Cold spaghetti, yeah.
Lasagna.
Yeah. But that I wouldn't eat a leftover. Not a huge fan of leftover. Like I told you, after like the 24-hour mark, it's like I don't care.
Because of my Asian affinity with food, I have mastered the art of rewarming rice.
Yeah.
You just cover it with a wet paper towel.
Okay.
And then loosely cover that, and it re-steams it. With a caveat, I'm going to say this for everyone, and a lot of people don't know this. You cannot warm up rice twice. It actually has a toxin in it that will not die from heat. So if you warm it up and then put it back in the fridge and warm it up again, you are risking your life. It is actually a deadly toxin.
Really?
It's rare that it'll kill you, but it is possible. Ricin is a different poison too. We're not even going to talk about that. That's way off topic. But yeah, other foods that are just bad as leftovers, or anything that gets soggy. You know, if it's supposed to be crispy and it's sitting in like a juice.
Yeah,
or
like chicken tenders don't warm up very well.
Anything that like really like deep fried.
Yeah, you can throw them in the air fryer and
you'll lose that crisp.
Some of it, but it's you got to be hungry to do that, or just not be wasteful.
Yeah,
just eat them all.
Again, fridge goes back. Why the hell are you having leftovers? Just fucking eat them all. I'd say Chinese is definitely the worst when it comes. Thai is a close second. It's not the easiest to warm up either. I don't know. Arby's is like not a good one.
Not a good one.
I've never even tried. You finished that one.
Yeah.
I don't know. Fish is terrible to reheat. For some reason, I think it's because fish meat is wetter. Go figure. The fish is wet. But the batter on fillet or fish and chips always gets this weird, almost chalky texture when it sits overnight. And I know my dad likes to eat fish that's left over. I don't know how he does it. Ribs are actually pretty good to reheat. Because I think a lot of restaurants parboil it and like kind of pre-cook them, And then that's because otherwise, I mean, how are you getting ribs out to someone that orders them in 15
in
minutes?
like 15, 20 minutes, yeah.
Because that's a 2-hour minimum dish. Soups, fridge doesn't like soup. Soup is great to reheat.
Chili is good to reheat.
Which is a soup. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm considering it a soup. What would you consider? A cereal?
Pudding.
A pudding? I mean, we talked about it.
Meat pudding.
Pudding is technically a savory dish. So you have your leftovers that are good and bad. And then we talked last time about expiration dates. We mostly don't give a shit about. Now,
It has to be a woman thing.
yeah, well, I'm also partly a doomsday planner, and I have these 20-year fucking food buckets that I'm gonna get. And I have a tub liner to give me 80 gallons of fresh water in case the end of the world comes. But I guess that brings up my question. I want to know if you guys have one. You don't have to give me details, or because our podcast listeners might take your plan. But what is your tentative end of the world, zombie apocalypse, civil war plan? Anything? End of the world's coming. We've all thought about it. Where are you doing? What are you doing? How are you doing it?
If I were to tell you, it could start a whole thing.
That's what we're here for.
I'm one. You know how I'm with Christian and the beliefs and all that stuff.
You're going to church.
No.
Okay, good.
No. If it starts, I'm just gonna grab my gun and hope for the best. And I'm one of those. If it's my time, it's my time. I'm gonna fight till I'll go and get whatever supplies I need. And if it's my time, it's my time.
How interesting of an answer. Thank you for sharing with us.
I know.
Tommy.
I know. That's why I said you're not gonna want to hear my answer. It's
Your
boring.
plan is a non-plan. Okay, let's start here.
Okay.
What kind of gun do you have?
Just a pistol and a shotgun, and then I have a bow.
Okay, so eliminate the bow. There's no
Yeah,
fucking way
I
that's
know. That's what I'm
viable.
saying. Yeah.
You're not the fucking guy from the Boondock Saints on The Walking Dead.
Yeah, I know.
Daryl.
I'm not Daryl.
So what kind of pistol do you have? Is it 9mm?
Yes.
Full size?
Yeah.
So like a 16 round capacity
I have two clips, so I have a 12 and 13 because I have one extra in my clip. So
I'm gonna be anal retentive here. It's called a magazine.
What did I say?
You said
Clips.
clip.
Okay, sorry.
Clip is the old school thing that you would see in really old rifles that they load from the top.
Okay.
With the exposed bullets, magazines. hold
Okay,
them
so
internally.
yeah, I have two mags.
Okay.
And then it's just a pump shotgun.
Okay. Do you know what kind?
It was actually I won it at it's called a partner pump. It's nothing special.
What?
Partner?
Partner pump?
It's PARDNER partner pump. I won it at a wild game dinner.
Okay. So like one of those raffles while
Yes.
you eat some goose and shit like that?
Yes.
So you don't know anything about this gun you have?
I really don't.
Do you
So-
know if it's a 12 gauge, 16 gauge, 20
It's
gauge?
a 12 gauge,
410?
yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a 12 gauge pump shotgun.
Do you have ammunition for it?
Yes.
What kind of ammunition do you have for it?
Just
Are you running birdshot?
yeah, yes, I have birdshot
Okay. Get rid of your birdshot.
and get buckshot.
Double aught buck.
Okay.
That is your home protection round.
Okay.
Unless you want to do a slug, but then you have to be more accurate. But get rid of your birdshot and get double aught buck.
Okay.
If you're going to have a 12 gauge for protection of your home, you want
Okay.
double aught buck. Fridge. I know you got an arsenal like me. Bigger than mine. Your plan is just fucking maul everyone down until I get what I need, isn't
Lay
it?
waste to everybody.
Just
You guys stock up and thanks.
I already know that we've talked about this. My initial plan, there's a Family Dollar right behind my house. There's enough food to sustain probably 12 people for a year in there with canned goods and dry goods. I'm taking that fucking thing over until the insanity dies down, and once everything's slowed, I'm heading up north to Fridge's property. And hopefully he doesn't shoot me by then because he doesn't know who the fuck I am anymore. But we can combine forces. I'm pretty good with a gun. He has seen it.
yeah.
So I also have a 300 blackout AR with a silencer. I mean, you can't hear that fucking gun, and that's really good for zombies or stealth. I always go zombies with End of the World. Zombies are an
There's
affinity of
gonna
mine.
be zombies. There's gonna be zombies.
Yeah, they're called Trump supporters. Thomas. Anyway, so yeah, it's gonna be a takeover a local store that can sustain me for a few weeks while everything calms down, and then I'm heading north, where you have property to hunt, property to plant food, and then you also have well water. The only thing that sucks is the farther north you get, the more brutal your winters are. But we're Michiganders, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we can survive.
Like last week, the ice
I
storm.
hate that word.
So we can go on a caveat here. I said it because if I don't, I'm going to get a text message from Dan Goggins, who was on our pod a couple weeks ago, last week, and he's going to say, "You pretentious fuck. You can't use Michigander like everyone else," because every week I get texts about how pretentious I am about my opinions. Like I only call Faygo Pop and the rest of soda. Anyway, Michigander, if I got my story correct, was made up as a term of insult for Michigan people by Abraham Lincoln, who was a Republican at the time. Because he called us dumb as a flock of geese, which is called a gander. So Michigander is calling us stupid.
You know what? I am a huge Abraham Lincoln fan, and I do not know that, and I am very interested, and I'm going to have to look that up.
I think it was Lincoln, but yeah, I do prefer and typically use Michiganian. And I believe there's even a song about Michiganian being the correct word, but I'm not going to get into that anyway. So yeah, that's about all I got for the end of the world. It's a simple plan. I also do say one thing that is a benefit. Fridge and I have motorcycles, and you can send the wife and kids up north, and we can stay here and get supplies and shit. But having a bike, you can get around that gridlock traffic a lot easier.
Yeah.
You can go through trees and off-road a lot easier than you can in a fucking car. Even a truck is probably going to have a hard time. So I think a motorcycle is definitely a benefit to have.
I agree with the whole truck thing. I had a truck, and when that blackout happened, when that happened, like 2003, 04?
2003, 2004, it's somewhere around there. Cause,
yeah, I was 18, 19, and I had a F-150, and all the lights are out, everything, and it was complete gridlock, almost end of the world type, not quite, but I was trying to weave through traffic, trying to get around in my F-150, and it was nuts, but you had the bikes, people were just right through.
So where were you guys when that blackout happened? What'd you do? How'd you spend it?
Actually, we had a plan, all the guys in, this was pre-planned, all the guys from the church group, we were heading up to Harson's Island. And I was at Tim's house picking him up to go up to Harson's Island. And as I was picking him up, the electric just goes out. And we're like, oh my gosh, because I was picking him up to meet at the church to go up. And so we were driving, and the church is at 17 DeQuinder in Sterling Heights.
Is that Kensington?
No, it's called First Church, but it's at 17 in DeQuinder in Sterling Heights, and we met the guys up there, and they were like, "Are we still going to do this? Or are we going to?" And they actually still had electric on Harson's Island, and we drove up there, but trying to get to Harson's Island was a nightmare.
I can definitely say that I am lucky that blackout didn't happen when I was like 23 and a drunk. Because I would have
been gone.
I would have tore shit up. I would have been a degenerate. I would have looted. I would have rioted. I would have done a lot of bad things.
Yeah.
I don't remember what I was doing.
No? So you had to have been around the same age as Tommy. So probably
I was
17,
18, 19.
I was 13 or 14. And I remember my dad had a generator.
Yeah,
one of the only ones in the block. And all I remember is we had a TV and a fan, because it was in the middle of fucking summer. It happened because of the overload on the grid. But my dad was running that, so we were watching fucking TV, and we went to the Chicago Deli and got a pizza because they had a brick iron pizza, and we just hung out and played cards in the backyard, and I went over to my friends and swam. It was a fucking vacation for me.
Yeah.
And then I do remember, and this is fun, it goes back to the guns and shit. Never knew my dad had guns at this point. Yeah. And all of a sudden...
Because it happened at like 2, 3 o'clock on a Friday.
Yeah, well, it was like 2 or 3 in the morning the first night. My dad's generator's in the garage. He has it chained up, but still, all of a sudden, a car rolls up at the front of our house, lights off, and they're just sitting there. And my dad's like, "Just stay the fuck inside." And he comes out and he has shirt wrapped around something, and he goes, I gotta go out and figure this out. And he walks out. Lo and behold, I find out it's a gun. It has a revolver, and I'm like, Dad, what was in the shirt? And he goes, it's called a throwdown. I'm like, what? He's like, don't worry about it. You'll learn when you're older. Well, come to find out, that's a fucking gun with the serial numbers removed in case someone goes off on you and you fucking have to kill someone. I'm like, oh shit, Dad's not here to play. But yeah, I treated it like a fucking vacation. And the only thing that pissed me off the most was the next day I didn't get to watch Pokemon Saturday mornings. I was that young. I'm sorry, boys. I'm younger than you by a decent margin. Fridge, you don't remember where you were or what you did? Were you playing puppet with the neighbor lady?
I don't think so.
Yeah, we went out on the water and we played euchre all night. And
That's what we did. We played
I
euchre.
think we just like hung out at home and just fucking drank. I don't know. I think I was living with a girlfriend at the time, and I don't remember what we did.
17, 18, living with a girlfriend?
Yeah,
He's a liar.
I've been moved out since I was 17. So.
No, like it's actually a good point because especially in the new age, like there are a lot of parents that are afraid to even let their kids stay at someone's house, even a friend, just for a sleepover because fucking sexual assaults and just even the hell's the word I'm looking for? Even just saying accusations of things happening. Or anything weird. And a lot of parents are just like, you can stay, but I'm coming to pick you up tonight. When I was a kid, when we were kids, it was, I'm staying the night at my friend's house. Do you need to talk to the parents? No, see you tomorrow. We didn't have cell phones. It's be back at 11 o'clock, and I just
now
fucked off.
Everybody's on Life 360 or just find me.
Yeah, find
man, as soon as I could, I was on my bike. I was down a couple blocks, maybe. Man, I remember Family Video was 2.5, 3 miles away from my house.
For our young viewers, that is a store where you rented movies. To watch.
Every Tuesday, that's when the new release is released. I was 12, 13 years old. I'd ride my bike up, go get the new releases, and would come home. In between my house and Family Video was my grandparents' house. So every Tuesday I'd stop and say hello to my, grandparents, my papa, my granny. I usually have grab a water, stay there for an hour or two, maybe, because I call them papa and granny.
No, yes, but no. It reminded me of another fucking movie because I'm that guy. But have you guys seen Horrible Bosses?
Yeah.
So the scene where he's like, sir, I thought you were going to give me that promotion. It's Jason Bateman's character talking to Kevin Spacey. Sir, I was working my ass off. I thought you were going to give me that promotion. And he's like, no. He's like, man, I missed my Gam Gam's funeral for you. And he's like, Kevin Spacey just starts laughing. He's like, I didn't know you called your grandpa Gam Gam.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry.
No, that's fine. And yeah, I did that every Tuesday, and my mom never checked on me.
Yeah. So
it's really weird now.
The whole point of me bringing that up, though, is because Fridge said he was living with his girlfriend, moved out young. When I was 18, I had a girlfriend move in with me. When she and I broke up, next one moved in at like 19. And there's two trains of thought here. Like, Fridge, you have daughters. Mm-hmm. When they're 18, or do you want them to get the fuck out of your house? Or are you going to be like, the hell you're moving in with your boyfriend at 18?
Depends on where they're at.
Maturity-wise? Or
yes.
Yeah. Because if you're still acting like a fucking foolish child and you want to go move in with your 18-year-old boyfriend at 17 or 18, you can go fuck yourself. Not happening. I guess if college maturity level...
But is the maturity level a lot different now?
Absolutely.
100%.
I swear that kids are growing up slower, in my opinion. Would you agree, Fridge?
Yeah.
When I was young...
They look older. They are less.
Sometimes. But, yeah, when we were kids, we had a lot more responsibility at a younger age because of just that. Lack of technology was a big one.
Yeah.
Where we had to be out there and do our own... Like, nowadays, kids are constantly out there. They don't even want to get their license at the age of... No. 14 and 8 months, I'm like, Dad, take me down. I want to get my permit right now. I wanted that freedom. I want it out of my house. Now kids are bedrooms and video games. Yeah. So
I deal with a lot of kids coming from like schools
I wanted a job as soon as I could.
Trade schools, and it's like, hey, you should maybe take this test, extra couple bucks an hour. Well, can I just have the notes to study? No, read the entire book.
Right.
I don't know which questions are on it. It's all random. Well, can't you just give me the answers to study? No.
How is that
fucking learn?
How is that application going to be okay for me to hire you?
Right. Like just they don't have.
I wanted
no
a car
drive.
as soon as possible. My dad said, "Hey, when I get my license, I'll pay half on the car." And it was my birthday. I by that time I had like $500 some dollars. He bought a car for like $1,200-$1,300 for me, so I didn't actually have half. I was working, and I mean, I wanted to go. Me and Tim, we went bowling every Friday night. Did cosmic bowling. I mean, I wanted to have money in my pocket.
Yeah.
But that's back to when you talk about first jobs. Like my job when I was younger, my first job. Dude, you'd be walking to school. As soon as I'm out of school, the lawn crew would be waiting for me on my way home. And then jump in the truck, work until 8, 9 o'clock at night with the guys, and then get my shit done, go back to school next day.
Yeah, at Telway, I worked 2 to 9, and it was $5.15 an hour plus tips.
Yeah. So when I turned 16, the one thing that I got instilled in from like being 10 years old on, you're going to be 16 soon. You're going to want a car. Save your money. And I put away birthday money and
Start
Christmas
looking
money
for work. Do little jobs during the summer.
And when I turned 16, I had $3,000 for a car. I bought I think I talked about it here, but 2001 Ford Taurus, Grandpa Gold, and I put the system in there. I think we talked about this last week. So I was bumping a Grandpa Gold Ford Taurus with a bunch of subwoofers and amps and 6 CD changer in the car. Great, you got me through 6 CDs worth of stuff, but then I want to listen to something else. I got to pull over, open my trunk, and go. And here's another thing. They talk about distracted driving with a fucking cell phone or your infotainment screens. Remember having the binders of CDs?
64 pages of CDs.
Yeah, and I'm flipping through those motherfuckers. And you have the visor full of favorites. And, or even better yet, before the CD changer, when you had to fucking cassette adapt a fucking CD player.
Because you didn't have the CD player, so you had the cassette one, and then you had the Discman.
Yep. I remember my 2004 Impala. It was my second car. Had a CD and tape deck, so I had both built into one. So
I thought I was so cool when I bought my Kenwood CD player, and then I didn't want to get it stolen, so I had that button where you press the face.
Take
and
the face
popped
with you.
The face popped off. Man, I thought I was so cool.
I never removed the faceplate. I never had it stolen either. So but that was back when car radios were $1,200 and they were worth breaking a window for. Now they're what, $150 gets you
I
like.
haven't even looked at car radio stuff in years.
So I have, because my truck got repoed and I'm driving a piece of shit with no infotainment. But you can get a double din, which is the ultra big ones with touchscreen and Apple CarPlay and whatever Android car or whatever the fuck that one's called. $150.
Jeez.
And they have all the parts with it. They come with their own housings and the wiring harnesses and everything. Back then it was we had to go get the fucking radio if you did it yourself. Get the radio, then you had to get the wiring harness separately based on what car you had. Yeah. And then you had
the
to
dash kit.
Yeah. Everything.
Figure out how to wire.
And we I miss it. We had a one-stop shop where I could get everything. It was called Gibraltar.
Oh man, I love Gibraltar.
Go see Rex.
Yeah, you used to work there though.
Yeah.
So yes, he had every car audio piece you could imagine. If I remember correctly, that was if you went into that one entrance, he was just to the left, and the right was the tattoo booths.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, just fucking.
That's where my dad actually got his first tattoo. Was Gibraltar.
Yeah, I would never get one there, but...
Well, I'm just saying that's where my dad got his first one, yeah.
And not to say that there weren't talented artists, but, like, I don't want to get a tattoo where 3 doors down is flea-infested puppies,
That's right, it's the flea market.
Yeah.
I liked it towards the end, and it happened after I was 21. They started selling beer, and I'd go fucking drink while I'm walking around Gibraltar. And you just... For those of you that have never seen it, if we have younger listeners...
Man.
It's just you had stands of everything. You can get nostalgia and collectibles and retro video games,
get Christmas stuff.
Yeah.
I did so much Christmas shopping there.
Toys.
You had sex shops and head shops and leather shops and car audio shops.
It was the only place in Michigan that I could find a vest to ride a motorcycle big enough to fit me.
Chardann's.
Chardann's.
Which got taken over by Candace. Candace's Leather is out in Chesterfield. She's wonderful.
Oh, the Amish cheese shop.
The Amish fucking cheese shop. So they had...
And if you want an area rug, that was the place to go.
There's still Gibraltar rugs at 12 and DeQuinder. That's the only thing that remains. But the Amish cheese guys had the best beef jerky in the world, first of all. But you had to eat it quick because there's no preservatives, so it did mold quick. But, again, finish your fucking food, right, fridge? But they also had, and this is one of the saddest parts about Gibraltar's closing, there is a meat, a deli meat called Lebanon bologna. It is the texture of bologna with the flavor of salami. And it is a a Pennsylvania Amish thing.
Yeah.
And they're the only ones I could find it from. Even now, if I look online, the only way to get it is if I buy like $170 worth of it and they send it with the box of fucking cold. And I'm like, I don't know if it freezes well. I don't know anyone else that would share this with me, but it was introduced to me by a friend, and it was just the best sandwich I've ever had in my entire life.
Yeah, I forget where it was. I wanted to say it was like from Intercourse, Pennsylvania. I forget, but I know where. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Because I actually did a little bit of time and lived in Pennsylvania for a little while, and the Amish country out there. I was actually talking to Scott earlier about that.
And one of the other things about Gibraltar that I loved, and that was back when cell phones had things like changeable backplates and changeable antennas.
Pagers.
And
pagers.
Gibraltar had 20 fucking cell phone stands, and they all sold the same exact garbage.
Bought my first beeper there.
So
it was wood grain.
It's funny you say I've never owned a fucking pager in my life. It was just going out of style when I got old enough and I got a cell phone instead of a pager. I got a Virgin Mobile cell phone when I was 14 out of my own money. Anyway, I was just talking to Shelby about the other day. I'm like, you can still fucking buy and activate pagers. And I'm like, I just kind of want to do it to fuck with people. Like, hey, you need me? Beep me. Here's my beeper number. It's like $10 a month. And they can receive text messages now. It's like...
Actually...
you can't... It's perfect for especially like people that are like, leave me the fuck alone. Mm-hmm. Beat me. I'll get back to you if I want to. And it's not rude because I can't answer on a pager.
Actually, the first thing that I ever bought in my whole entire life was from Gibraltar. Growing up, I was a...
Gibraltar?
Gibraltar.
There you go.
Growing up, I was a Joe Montana fan. And
I thought you said Joe Montana.
So, San Francisco 49ers, they had a helmet clock that I wanted, and I think it was like $35, something like that. So my parents went and buy it for me, and they told me to save my allowance. So I was like 7, 8 years old, and we used to go out there probably twice a month. And I think I maybe got $5, $10 a week from allowance. So after like a month and a half of saving up my allowance, I finally had enough to buy that clock. And I think my parents actually still have that clock. The hands on it don't work anymore because it's 35 years old. But that is the first thing that I've ever bought in my life was the helmet clock at Gibraltar that I ever had bought in my life.
I used to Christmas shop there. I'd buy my own shit there. Like I just, like I said, they had fucking everything.
Yeah.
Fridge, what was the name of the tattoo place that you apprenticed at there?
Bonsai. Under Ozzy.
Yeah, there was, I want to say 3 tattoo parlors there when they were open.
There was Bonsai, the one that Sarge worked at. There was...
I only have one tattoo, and Sarge is the one who did my tattoo.
And then my buddy Donnie worked at one... There was a couple. There was like 4 or 5 in there.
I knew of 3. There was
Beyond Reality.
Beyond Reality, I remember them. That was that Jesse?
They had one downriver too.
I feel like that was Jesse that ran that one. He was a big dude.
No, this was ran by... Oh, maybe it was... I want to say her name was Becky that ran that
I
place.
could be wrong. Anyway, I do know that they also threw amazing bike nights.
Mm-hmm.
You ever been to that one?
Huge.
Mm-hmm.
You'd have 1,000 motorcycles show up every Friday, and they had to shut it down because bikers get rowdy. So yeah, I just
And we had
remember
two of them, one in Taylor and one in Mount Clemens.
Yeah, there was one in Taylor, Tucky, downriver. It was smaller and worse.
Yeah.
I only been there once.
I was there a few times, but it definitely didn't hold the candle to the one in Mount Clemens.
They had a really cool haunted house there.
Yeah.
During the Halloween season. But I know the one here is now just a fucking giant weed grow operation.
I was saying,
And they recently painted the giant Gibraltar man blue. It looks
Did they?
awful. Yeah.
I haven't even seen
I
it.
didn't see it.
Yeah. So it's not good. So I got one more thing food related.
Okay.
You guys ever go to restaurants and eat alone?
No. I get anxiety.
I
I
actually
have.
love it. I love doing it.
I have, but I haven't in a long time. It would be more if I was working, I'd have no problem doing it like on a lunch hour and stuff. But since I've been with Becca, if I'm going out, she's like, "Oh, I'll go with you," and it's like I have no problem doing it.
No, I absolutely love doing self dates. I'll do dinner and a movie by myself. And when I was younger, I used to think like that's super fucking weird and awkward.
Yeah,
but
why is it dude alone?
As an adult now, I'm like, I just fucking doom scroll TikTok on my phone and
Yeah.
eat my food at my pace. I don't have to fucking talk to anyone, and it's just I don't know. I think it's a peaceful and wonderful thing.
Yeah, I have no issue with it. I know on here I talk and stuff, but I am an extrovert and an introvert at the same time. It's like I have my days where it's like, don't talk to me, leave me alone, and then some days you can't shut me up.
That's
Fridge.
me most days.
I was just gonna say. I was literally gonna say. Fridge is 90%. Leave me the fuck alone. I'll come to you if I like you, and that's about it.
Yeah.
So I feel #blessed that you like me, Fridge. Most days. There are days when Fridge gets into his introverted mood. He's like, everyone needs to leave me the fuck alone. And I'll text him. He's like, "What do you want?" And I think he's joking. And I'm like, "I want you, buddy." He's like, "No, seriously. Like, leave me alone. I'm not in the mood." And I'm like, "What did I do to you?" And he's like, "I'm not nothing. You did nothing. I'm just in a mood."
Nobody did anything. I'm just in a mood.
And I never know how to gauge it because
Yeah.
most people that get like that as a full-on extrovert, I adopt introverts. That's what I do.
Yeah.
And I bring them out of their shell. I'm notorious for it, and I get to the point where I'm fucking annoying. And I'm sure Fridge sometimes is like, "Dude, leave me the fuck alone. I'm not coming out. I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to play games." And I'm like, "Fridge," and I'll I'll be all cutesy. Like, "Come on, buddy."
I'd be like, "Come on, do you want me to drop you off a Slurpee? You want me to do that?" I'm like, "Come on."
There's a Looney Tunes. There's the big bulldog that's got like a little cap on, and then there's a little yappy dog, and his name's Chester. And he's like, "Hey, what do you want to do? Hey, bud, you want to go out? Hey," and he's like, and the old bulldog always goes slap him. Shut up! And he always slaps him. And I'm like, Becca's always Chester. Hey, and I'm more the bulldog. Like, will you please just shut up? And I always nicknamed her Chester because she's always like, Hey, Tommy, hey, are we gonna do this today? Hey, it's like, Becca, just leave me alone. No, not today. Like, I'm not ready for you. I'm not today.
I just need the sun to come out. And I'll be all right for a while.
The warm weather definitely makes me a lot more outgoing. The older I get, the more introverted I become, and
Yeah.
the more I want to just stay at home and be alone. But I was gonna say though, when Fridge brought up, he's like, you want me? And I'd say to him like, "You want me to bring you a Slurpee?" And that's usually the only thing that gets a response out of him. "Hey, do you want to play games? No. You want to go bowling? No. You want to go to the arcade? No. You want to go to the casino? No. You're in a bad mood. Do you want me to send you an ice cream or something? Okay."
Sugar?
And I fucking done it.
Sugar?
I have DoorDashed him a fucking milkshake. I've dropped him off Slurpees. And I don't care. I got a smile
I got
out of you.
cookies and a dinosaur. At work.
I totally forgot about
I
that.
still have my dinosaur on my computer.
So, I don't remember why. You were having a bad fucking day or something like that.
I was having an off myself day.
Yeah, it was one of those. He kept joking about I'm like, "What do you want to do?" He's like, "Steer my car into the embankment and die." And I'm, "Stop saying that." He's like, "No, seriously." I'm like, "I'm gonna hang from the rafters." I'm like, "Stop it." And so I went to Dollar General and got a fucking pack of Oreos and a little dinosaur Mylar balloon, the ones that never lose air.
Oh yeah.
It still has air. It's been a while.
I don't. Did I drop that off or
Shelby?
it was either me or Shelby?
Or no? Did Shanghai?
No, I dropped it off. Shelby brought you lunch one time that your wife bought because she was door dashing, and,
Yes,
and your wife was like, "You're door dashing. I'll just pay you directly, so I get you." And then she dropped you off some lunch that one time. So that was super cool.
That's hilarious.
Anyway, I think that's all I got for our food topics today. I do want to touch base. Tommy, I know you're going to be able to fill us in on this. Did we win opening day?
Yes.
We did? Okay.
We went 3-0. We won the whole series. And then actually we played today against the Yankees, and we won today again.
Right on. So the
and
Tigers are looking good.
Yeah, so we started against the Dodgers last week. Lost that series, went 0-3. Then we placed that was on the West Coast, and then we went with the Mariners. I think we picked went 2-1, or 1-2, whatever. And then we came home and did opening day this weekend and went 3-0, and then we started our next series. So this is the fourth series of the season so far. So yeah.
We bring up sports and Fridge walked away for
I know.
a potty
What
break.
the hell?
Right now is the perfect fucking time to bring up embarrassing stories or make fun of them. So
Yeah.
let's start with this. No, I'm just,
Yeah.
I have nothing. I other than a quick sports update, I think we can take our break.
Yeah, and the other sports update that I will say personally is tonight is the national championship for March Madness, and
It's April.
well, the March Madness
April.
NCAA men's basketball national championship is tonight, and Duke lost on Saturday night. I finished the game at the bar.
Duke lost?
Duke lost.
Okay, did you see the guy that placed a $5 bet like a year and a half ago picking the championship of every major sport, including this? And he won everything. He predicted the NFL. He predicted the MLB. He predicted the NHL. Everything was correct, and he got all the way to NCAA March Madness. And he had Duke to win it all. Now, here's the thing: $5 bet would have paid out $120,000 or something like that if he had it all correct.
Yeah, did he hedge his bet or anything?
He was on TikTok and he's going, "Should I cash it out? They're offering me $50,000 now to cash it out." And everyone is like, "Nah, let it ride, man. It's a $5 bet." I'm like, "No, take the $50,000.
Yeah.
You already got that much done. If Duke loses, you're gonna fucking regret it. I think you cash out $50,000 and put $10,000 on Duke at that point, right?"
Yeah.
So I have to look it up because if Duke lost and he didn't pull his bet,
Here's the thing. So when I got to the bar, Duke was up. I believe it was like, I'm gonna say 58 to. They were up by 12. Okay, there's about 13 minutes left in the second half, and I don't know if you follow men's basketball in college.
I only follow the WNBA for Reese. Angel Reese is so good. No.
So there's only two halves. So there's 12 minutes left in the game. They go cold. 5 minutes without scoring a point. Houston goes on a, I think, 11-0 run. Houston wins by 2.
Jesus.
Duke loses. Tonight, it's Florida versus Houston for the championship.
Right on. I don't follow basketball at all.
Yeah.
Like NBA, WNBA, NCAA, it doesn't matter to me.
Yeah.
Basketball, I play. I enjoy the sport. It's the most boring fucking sport for me to watch. I'd rather watch soccer.
Far as basketball goes, when it comes to college, I watch maybe 10 to 12 games throughout the year. And when it comes to March Madness, I try to watch as many of the games as I physically can because I do love the tournament.
My extent of NCAA basketball is 10 years ago. I joined a betting pool at work to pick a bracket.
Yeah.
Because, as you can tell, I'm a gambling addict.
Yeah.
And I went online and just did 3 hours of research.
Yeah.
And I randomly picked 4 or 5 upsets in the entire tournament, and I ended up winning $500 at my new job.
Yeah.
That's my extent of March Madness.
But
I don't do any March Madness.
How was your pee?
Long.
That's a shame. You should probably get your urethra checked one day.
yeah.
Anything else, Tommy, for sports updates, Mr.
No,
Sportscaster?
I just Red Wings were about 2-3 weeks ago had a chance to finally break into the playoffs, and they have tanked. And I think as of yesterday, they only had like a 0.19% chance of making it.
Well,
that's a joke.
That was kind of like the Tigers' odds last year, though, right? I mean,
Yeah, I think they've only got what? Do they have 5 games left in the season? 4 games left in the season?
you know what? I will bring up when it comes to the NHL. I think it's super fucking cool. But did you see about the news of Ovechkin?
Yeah, he broke
Breaking the goal.
Gretzky's record.
All-time goal scored.
Yeah, that's
as a
awesome.
single person. So 895, I think it was.
Yeah, that's crazy. And then the last thing that I'll bring up is Pistons. Man, only having 12 wins last year all season. I think they went 12-70. They are 39. I think 39 wins right now, and they are the 5th seed right now. They're not even doing a play-in game for the playoffs. They have, I think, 5 games left. So then the playoffs, complete turnaround. So I'm excited to see if they can maybe at least win one series in the playoffs this year. So that's my sports update.
Right on. Thanks for the update, sir.
Yep.
Weather, fridge.
It's shitty outside.
I know we had snow today. What the hell?
Sideways snow.
April 7th. And you know what? I want to touch topic on this before we take our break and get our food review going. When we were younger, I remember
April was warm.
I remember April being warm and snow in Halloween all the time.
Yeah.
Now it's 60 and raining during Halloween. Now it's still snowing in April.
I have a theory that all the seasons are going to shift.
That's exactly my theory. I think
Yeah.
everything is just a month to a month and a half later.
By 2040, June's going to be snow, and we're going to be 60 and sunny in January.
You know, I'm going to take it because I've never been able to have an outdoor birthday. My birthday's in January, and I fucking hate it. My birthday was called Blue Monday like 15 years ago, the most depressing day of the year. Thanks. That's my birthday, January 24th. But yeah, the weather's just fucking terrible. It's 31 degrees on April 7th.
I was looking at the weather earlier. It was like 1 or 2 o'clock, and it was like 38 degrees. Feels like 15. I'm like, what?
Yeah. And I want to take my motorcycle out, man.
I flipped on the Tigers game. The Tigers game, I think, started at like 3 o'clock, and it was snowing.
Fridge, when are you putting your bike back together?
It is. It's back together.
You already put it back together?
I put it together yesterday.
I told you to let me know.
Yeah, yesterday afternoon.
You didn't want me to come over and help you?
I was in my little zone.
Oh, it's one of those.
Oh.
If I brought you a Slurpee, you would have let me.
I actually had a Slurpee while I was putting my bike back together. I had the kids, so I was like, hey, you guys want Slurpees? And then they're like, okay, but Mom's coming, so...
Did you want to review the substance before the food?
No, we're going to wait for TJ for that.
Oh, I'm a jerk.
Substance.
If he ever gets his ass on here.
Yeah.
So next week we're going to have Jessica on.
Is it next week? Okay, cool.
We're going to do some pickle-flavored snacks and foods, as well as pickles in general.
Okay.
So henceforth, our fucking intro has been
Yeah.
talking about pickles since she brought it up a month and a half ago.
And said, hey, I'm doing this.
Yeah, so I'm excited a little bit, but I also know that pickle-flavored snacks can just a lot of times turn out just vinegary as hell.
Yeah.
And they're just not good. So we're going to review a few pickles and then pickle-flavored snacks, and I even have a pickle-flavored soda for us. Mm-hmm. So that'll be super fun next week. So I think this is a good time to break. We're going to take a break. We're going to get our food here in a second. We are comparing McDonald's versus Burger King, the Big Mac meal versus the Whopper meal.
Also, Faygo released 2 new flavors.
Yeah,
and
you brought that?
I brought that for us to try.
Right on. Faygo's a pop.
Mm-hmm.
Coca-Cola's a soda.
Yes.
So yeah, the age-old question though, Whopper versus Big Mac. I know which one I like in my heart better, but again, these side-by-side reviews confuse me because they fuck with me, and I go, "Wow, this is not what I thought."
Where are you sitting at right now? 'Cause
now,
I'm a Burger King guy.
I'm a Whopper person over a Big Mac.
Right now, I love the Big Mac sauce, but I prefer the flavor of a Whopper.
Yeah, so I don't know if they still sell it, but Burger King had like the Big King, which was like their Big Mac. Mm-hmm. It beat the Big Mac. I don't know if they still have it, but I preferred it. Their Mac sauce, if you will, their special sauce, not as good, but everything else is so much high quality, it makes me not even care about the little bit less of a flavor punch of their special sauce.
Mm-hmm.
But
That flame broil taste, man.
then you can go. You have a few of the imitation sandwiches, and you have Ram's Horn, which has they call it the imitator. Then you have the Big Boy.
That's from Big Boy, right?
Yeah, no S, Tommy.
Boys.
Yeah.
Out of those, I like the imitator from Ram's Horn the best. It's 2 half-pound patties. It's a hefty fucking burger. But I think what I'd like to do, if you boys are good with this, we'll rank which one's the best. And this way we don't have to get 6 or 7 or 10 fucking fast food places.
Yeah.
Whatever wins this one moves on. We'll do a kind of bracket style, and we'll put it up against like a Big Buford in a couple weeks, and take that and put it up against a Wendy's, day.
Yeah,
single.
why don't we do that in lieu of the tournament ending tonight?
Yeah. So over the next, except for next week when we're doing pickles,
Pickle, yeah.
I'd say, how about every other week we put the best fast food burger up against the next fast food burger place.
Okay.
I think we can probably. So we got McDonald's, Burger King, Wendy's, Checkers, or Rally's.
Yeah. Dairy Queen even has burger.
And I've heard they're good.
Yeah.
Never had
One,
the only
so
thing
I'm.
I've ever eaten from Dairy Queen other than desserts is chicken tenders.
Then we have Hardee's around.
Hardee's, if we can find one open still.
15 a month.
15 a pound.
15 a pound used to close at like 2 p.m. I don't know if they're open late now.
Supposedly, last time I heard is they finally got some staff, so they like to stay open past lunch.
All right, and then we could even if Arby's has it on the menu. Arby's has a fucking
Are we
great
throwing
burger.
Culver's in there?
Might as well. Culver's is great. I mean, a butter burger.
Yeah.
But we'll just have to stick to. Here's what I think it has to be. It has to be their signature sandwich, so it's going to be the number 1 on the menu, right?
Yeah.
Burger King is a Big Mac. All right.
Yeah.
Stupid idiot. Burger King's number 1 is a Whopper meal.
Yeah.
McDonald's number 1 is a Big Mac. So Big Buford's this and that. Dave Single at Wendy's. So I think that's a fair.
Will be the contest of number ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Number 1 challenge.
if you go to Wendy's, you can't do the Baconator. That's not fair.
No,
Right.
number
No,
one.
it has to be just the Dave
Yeah.
Single, which, you know what? In my mind, I would put that above Burger King. I love a Wendy's burger.
Mm-hmm.
And I got to give it to them. Burger King, frozen meat patties. They throw it frozen from the box onto the flame broil fucking like chain that just goes over. Wendy's doesn't freeze their meat, and you can tell.
Yeah.
So that's actually hand cooked. That's I can only tell you about Burger King and Wendy's because I've worked there. But after we're done and said with that, I think we can get into some specialty ones. I really want to put Taco Bell up against Del Taco straight up because I am a Del Taco fan. I hate Taco
burrito
Bell.
versus burrito, or just...
Taco versus taco, burrito versus burrito.
Shell versus soft shell.
Yeah, and I'm a soft shell person. I'm not a crunchy taco person.
If I'm going to eat one, it would be a soft shell.
But again, you can do desserts against desserts too. And there's no fucking way that the Cinnabon Delights or the Cinnamon Twists are going to beat the caramel cheesecake bites from Del Taco. I don't care, Tommy. You're going to like them. It's an egg roll filled with cheesecake.
Well,
and
I'll
caramel.
tell you what. Hey, whatever cheesecake was fed to me on Saturday night,
That was the.
it was
Papa
not
Joe's.
bad.
There's 2 slices of it left in the fridge. Keep your fucking hands off.
I took a bite of it. It was not bad. It wasn't my favorite, but it was edible. I'll tell you what, it was good.
Not a traditional.
Yeah, but that is like bread pudding and cheesecake had a wonderful, wonderful baby, and I'm all for it. So thank you, Papa Joe. Shout out for you for that. One more thing. We brought up motorcycles. Keep your fucking eyes out on the road, guys. Motorcycle season's here. We're out there.
Even though it's so cold as hell.
Keep us safe.
Go riding.
Yeah, so... All right, boys. I think it's a good time to take a break. We'll be
Sounds
right
good.
back with our review of McDonald's versus Burger King.
You love food, right? If you like food, big opinions, and crazy dudes with even bigger appetites, you're invited to be part of the family on Monday Night Meat and Potatoes. Join James, Fridge, and Tommy as they blind taste test the best and worst colas, barbecue sauce, peanut butters, everything, right down to those weird pickle-flavored snacks you see at the store, but you never buy, because we rank them, we review them, and we have a blast. And it's not just food. We talk movies, sports, personal stories, and whatever other madness is going on in the world. One thing's for sure, it's loud, fun, and funny. Come hang with us on Monday Night Meat and Potatoes. Find the show on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, YouTube, iHeartRadio, and Podbean.
All right, we're back. All right, like I said, we're going to do McDonald's versus Burger King. We got a Whopper meal and a Big Mac meal. McDonald's Coke is going to be by default win because Burger King forgot our drink. So I ran into this. Me and my dad and Scott did the chicken sandwich wars back when like Popeyes was really famous.
Yeah.
And Popeyes forgot the spicy chicken because we did regular and spicy of both versions. And by default, they lost the spicy round, which kind of sucked. But if you guys wanted to go ahead and talk about your expectations while I try the first one, so there's not a bunch of dead air.
Okay. Well, I love McDonald's fries. So I have a feeling that McDonald's fries will crush it. And like I said, I like the mac sauce. And I always felt like the Whopper was more filling. I have a feeling I'm probably going to like the Whopper more. But I could be surprised. I feel like the Mac's going to lose, Whopper's going to win, and McDonald's fries are going to win. But as far as soda's concerned, I probably would have picked the McDonald's Coke anyways. But we're going to see. What say you, Fridge?
I agree on the Coke. McDonald's would be probably far and above the Burger King Coke, even though I'll drink either one. Not much of a Burger King fry guy. More the onion rings whenever I get some Burger King. But, I don't know. McDonald's fries are always good. Top tier.
So you can actually do half and half if you order in the app now for Burger King.
Really?
Onion ring and fry, yeah.
I always like if you get fries, they give you an onion ring in there. Anyways.
Always. There's always an onion ring in the fries or a fry in the onion ring.
Yep.
I swear they do it on purpose. I don't get it. So, I'm not going to lie. Maybe I'm just hungry, but that Big Mac was really tasty.
No, it's not you, unless I'm really hungry too, which it could be.
That
was a really good bag.
It had a
Big
nice
Mac.
amount of sauce on it.
A lot of bread, though.
Yeah. When I get them, I typically will take off the middle bun. The fries are good. The problem with McDonald's fries is they go cold quick.
Yeah.
And when they go cold, they're not good. If they're hot and fresh, my God, they're great.
That's a good thing to say. Bad for leftovers is fries.
Oh, yeah, fries suck.
Completely agree. So I'm going to rank these. That Big Mac, I'm going to give it a 7.2. It's a good sandwich. Again, I'm not going to take into consideration cost here because everything is just insane when it comes to fast food.
Yeah.
But 7.2 for the sandwich itself. The fries, I'm giving an 8.
The fries I would give, man, am I going off of the fries that I got tonight or in general knowing what... I'm going to give the fries an 8.5, and, oh, man, that was one of the better Big Macs that I've had in a long time.
Nothing will beat the chicken Big Mac.
It's disgusting.
I didn't really care for the chicken Big Mac.
It was the first ever video review I did with my dad and me's food review, Fat Guy Friday. But it was the first video review I did. Sat in my car and ate it and wish I never did. And then Fridge got like 9 of them over the next week and told me every time how good it was. Are you taking the tomato off?
Yeah, I don't like tomato.
Oh, you bitch.
I did it last week with all the subs.
Oh, my gosh.
You didn't notice that?
No.
Now I'm so turned around at how this bun was on here. Let's see. I'm going to try this fry and see what...
The fries are definitely not as good. I'm not, again, I'm not a Burger King fry guy either. I prefer the onion rings, and even those aren't that good. They're thicker, they're heavier coated.
Usually less salted.
Yeah, they're definitely less salted.
Yeah.
I'm giving the fries a 5. So McDonald's definitely takes that one.
Easy 8 on the fries for McDonald's. Burger King fry. 6'3", maybe. Yeah, 6'3" on the fry.
And these are such different experiences.
I was going to say, I'm tasting pickles. I'm tasting onions on this Whopper.
It's got more flavor. Big Mac, you're really just getting it for the sauce, right? I mean,
Yeah.
otherwise, this is just an Americana burger experience.
Yeah.
I gotta give it a slight edge. I'm going with a 7.5 for the Whopper. Just barely better than the Big Mac. And this is not, in my opinion, the best Whopper I've ever had. It looked good, but it's lacking.
That's where I'm having a difficulty issue because that Big Mac was a really good Big Mac.
So
and I'm really having a hard time saying, oh, the Whopper, because this is an okay Whopper.
I think if we're comparing today's experience, the Big Mac
the
is
Big
better.
Mac won.
But I think if we're saying a good Whopper versus a good Big Mac, a good Whopper is going to beat the good Big Mac. Big Mac. You're going Whopper too? He's chewing.
Yeah, today the Big Mac won, but overall the Whopper is the better burger, in my opinion. I would give the Whopper. So coming in, yeah, my instincts were correct. Whopper is better, but slightly. But today's, yeah, I was pleasantly surprised by today's Big Mac.
Big Mac was okay.
So give us a ranking there, Fridge.
I know the Big Mac was okay. That's not really a nuanced take.
It's a Big Mac. It was like a 7.
Oh my God, this McDonald's Coke is awesome.
Like a 7.
God.
There is something magical about McDonald's Coke.
But no, for the Whopper, I would definitely take a Whopper over a Big Mac any day.
Now, do you ever get a double, triple Whopper, any of that? I never do.
Double the cheese.
So I don't get cheese on my Whopper, and I never double up the patty.
I've done a double quarter pounder before.
I've never done that either.
I've done that once or twice in my life.
Quarter pounder? What?
A double quarter pounder, I've done that once or twice.
Once or twice. That's like a staple.
Let's see if I've done a double anything. I think I've done a double at Wendy's.
You ever done a double stuff?
Oh, that's one of my favorite cookies.
I'm not talking cookies here,
Oh.
Tommy. I will tell you though, with the quarter pounder, the last time I had one, it was literally the day that they announced the recall on the onions.
Oh yeah,
And I had massive diarrhea for 3 days. I swear I got a bad batch. Maybe it was just my nerves getting to me, which I don't get nervous about shit like that, so I don't think it was. But that kind of ruined.
Would you guys give me crap if I said that Coke would almost rank it as a perfect Coke?
No, when it comes to Coca-Cola, that is a 10.
Yeah, that is a 10.
I'm not even I like Pepsi over Coke typically.
Yeah. Yeah, we've already said RC is,
but that is a perfect Coca-Cola. And it's because of many reasons. Not only do they have it calibrated weekly by Coke reps,
the straw,
it's
the amount of ice.
they cool the syrup. They actually have it calibrated in a way where they account for the melting ice to be the better ratio. It's in stainless steel kegs instead of plastic bags. They do a lot of work for that Coca-Cola. Believe it or not, that Coca-Cola that we just had from McDonald's is the reason that Pepsi owns Taco Bell. So instead of getting exclusive contracts with fast food restaurants to compete with McDonald's and Coke, they decided it was cheaper to just buy the restaurant and exclusively sell Pepsi in it. So that's why Taco Bell's exclusively Pepsi. But then you have, they have Baja Blast Mountain Dew in their Mountain Dew. Taco Bell and Pepsi, their Mountain Dew is the best Mountain Dew there is. Would you guys agree?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so their Mountain Dew is like McDonald's Coke.
Speaking of, Becca wanted Taco Bell the other night.
Sorry.
So on the secret menu, there's supposedly a thing called a Ninja Turtle. So I went and ordered it. It is half Baja Blast, half regular Mountain Dew. And I went there and I'm like, can I get a Ninja Turtle? And they're like, okay. And it was pretty good.
I haven't tested it yet, but I've heard rumors that Baja Blast is just Mountain Dew with blue Powerade. And I've heard people that mix it, and they're like, yeah, this is exactly what Baja Blast tastes like.
It could be.
So anyway, Fridge, did you rank the Whopper? I know you gave a 7 to a Big Mac. What are you giving the Whopper?
His nuanced take
8-3.
was the Big Mac is all right.
8-3. Would have been
8-3.
an 8-5 with cheese.
So we are going to move on. The Whopper takes today's reigning crown of the best fast food meal #1 combo. So what do you guys want to do next one? Do you want to put it up against Checkers? Do you want to put it up against Wendy's? What do you guys think? You know, Fridge, you pick, because we're going to make you get this one.
Buford.
Buford. I think the Buford's going to win.
Buford's going to destroy them.
I love the Big Buford.
I love the Big Buford.
It is an underrated sandwich. I also love, and I haven't been there in so long. I don't know if there's, I think they upped it both $1, but they used to have 2 for $3 and 2 for $4 sandwiches. I think now they're 2
I
for
haven't
4
been
and 2
there in
for
a
$5.
while, but the last time I went there, I'm like, whoa.
Yeah. So, you know, that's what I used to do, because I don't usually get fries when I'm getting fast food. I'd rather have 2, you know, smaller sandwiches and a drink.
Do
than,
some nugs and a McChicken.
Yeah, something like that. Which is why I like these new meal deals that everyone's coming out with. You get a little of everything. You get a small
biggie
fry and a
box.
four piece. And but yeah, I used to go there and I get their I forget what Checkers or Rally's calls their cheeseburger. I think it's
Rally Burger.
Rally Burger. Thank you. I do
Checker
that.
Burger,
I
yeah.
do that and get like the spicy chicken sandwich, and they're like 2 for $3, and then I get a drink, and that would be my Checkers meal.
Did you get my picture a couple days ago?
Remind me.
The Wendy's Party Pack chicken nuggets.
Yes.
So good.
So
Ooh, I can smell that.
we also, you know, while we're doing this, we're gonna have to put nugs against nugs too. Burger King is gonna lose that one.
The only place you can get 10 for $1.49.
$1.49. You know, like you go, oh, what a good fucking deal, and then you have them, and you go, that's why. I did like their chicken fries though. I think they brought them back for a minute a little bit ago, and then they got rid of them again. But their chicken fries are pretty damn good.
I don't think I've ever had them.
No?
No.
So they actually seem like real white meat chicken. They also brought them out, and they were like Cheetos encrusted chicken fries, and they were just delicious. So anyway, next up we have a couple new Faygo flavors. Faygo's dear to all of us Michiganians, but we have Faygo Bubble Pop, and what is the other one?
It is Super Pop. So it is Superman ice cream and then bubble gum.
Oh gosh. So I'm not a big fan of these like goofy flavored Faygos.
Yeah.
Like I don't like the bomb pop one, the
Bomb Pop
firecracker.
one was okay.
Firecracker.
Yeah.
Like there's only a few Faygo flavors I really like. I love Red Pop. I think
I'm gonna have Fridge try first.
I think Rock and Rye is probably one of the best sodas in the entire world.
Oh, Rock and Roll is so good.
But like Faygo Cola, not good. Faygo Cherry Cola, garbage. Faygo Root Beer, not good. Faygo Orange, good.
That's wild.
Is it?
That is wild. It is
Does it taste like Superman ice cream?
100%.
So this is Super Pop first.
Okay, because I like Superman ice cream.
That's a Michigan
That's a Michigan
staple.
thing. So yeah, why I take drink, if you want to explain what
If
Superman.
you let it sit, it goes through all the flavors.
Okay.
So I'll also talk about Superman shots at the bar, which is always fun. It's like Bailey's Blue Curacao.
My God.
That's wild.
Bailey's Blue Curacao and I think Frangelico, and it tastes like a Superman shot. But anyway, Superman ice cream, Michigan staple. It is Blue Moon ice cream. It's red, yellow, blue, and I think it's supposed to be Blue Moon. The red is it cherry?
I believe so.
And then the yellow is supposed to be something else. Blue. The only one I know for a fact is Blue Moon is supposed to be marshmallow flavor. That's what the original creators said they were mimicking out of. So you guys, Tommy, are you looking up Superman ice cream?
Yeah.
What they're supposed to be? So go ahead and explain that while I try this, whatever this is that you guys are crazy about right now.
I'm not crazy about it,
But
hits
if
every
you
single
like Superman
flavor.
ice cream, you're gonna like it.
It's weird because it has a creamy scent,
It does.
but it looks like a blue Powerade.
Looks like the substance.
This is worrying me. What the fuck?
It's supposed to be like fruit punch, vanilla, and blue raspberry.
That is not the real Superman. Yeah, I don't know who said that or where you found that. Because Blue Moon is marshmallow. It's weird. You were right, Fridge. Like, it sat there and it was like, it changed flavor.
It'll go through all the flavors.
That is definitely interesting.
I'm not mad at it.
I don't hate it.
Yeah.
I don't love it either.
But like if someone was like, if I'm going to a gas station, I'm not like, I'm not grabbing that.
No, and I will tell you this. I just saw this. This is a 20-ounce bottle with 280 calories and 69 grams of carbohydrates. That is a sugar-filled fucking drink. And you can taste it. It's very sweet.
Yeah.
I'm giving it a 5.8. It's I wouldn't not drink it if someone handed it to me.
Judging that on the would you drink it scale or the how it compares to ice cream?
No, I'm just comparing as a drink. I would probably never buy that for myself. I would probably prefer a water over that, but if it's sitting there and I'm thirsty, I won't not drink it.
I am going to give it a higher rating. I'm going to give it a 7.5 on the pure number that it wasn't disgusting. And it is exactly the taste of Superman. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and I have tasted, this is supposed to taste like that, and you taste it and you're like, that is wretched. Yeah. That is exactly this is what this is supposed to taste like. It tastes exactly. Now, like I said, that is not
melted ice cream.
Yeah, it tasted like a liquid melted Superman.
Yeah, it was good.
So it tasted exactly like it's supposed to taste. So on that fact, I'm going to give it a higher rating.
If I'm going just comparison to Superman ice cream, which is what's supposed to be, it's a 9. It is pretty damn spot on. By the way, Superman ice cream, according to Stroh's, who I think invented Blue Moon,
okay, there you go.
It is lemon, red pop, and blue moon.
Red pop.
Yep.
There you go.
So that's a strawberry.
Strawberry. Yeah.
And blue moon is marshmallow flavored. So that is what makes up a Superman ice cream, which is a fucking amazing ice cream. And now I really want some Superman ice cream.
Yeah.
So this next one, I'm probably not going to like. I don't think I'm going
to like this.
This makes me think of the dentist.
So when it comes to bubblegum flavored stuff, I think of two things, and both are bad experiences. Bazooka gum, which is always a rock hard gum that loses flavor in 14 seconds, and amoxicillin liquid when I had as a kid. So Fridge has got some.
I'm trying to read his face.
Yeah, he's got intrigued face.
Not bad.
I was gonna say he didn't turn up his nose.
The finish on it is bazooka bubblegum.
So I hate that.
It is 100% bazooka.
It smells like bubblegum.
Yeah. I guess that's why they're going for it.
Wow.
Speaking of bazooka, did you guys ever actually try and read the comics because they're never printed on the fucking wrapper, right?
No, yeah, they're all smudgy.
You know what?
I don't know.
You guys are making me scared.
No.
Well, no, because if you're
they're
going
good. Like they're good.
Like it. I shouldn't like it.
That's the thing. It's
got the bubblegum scent.
Yeah.
But then there's something else that I'm not liking.
I'm going to hand it to Fago. I'm going to hand it to Fago as like
bubblegum toothpaste at the dentist.
I have been tasting.
Or fluoride, whatever.
I've been tasting.
Oh no!
It's bazooka bubblegum.
I fucking hate it.
I guess my problem. I've been trying taste like or knockoff things. It's a big thing right now, and every time I've tried it, like, this is so nasty. I'm never buying this again. And Fago nailed what they were going for, so I'm having a hard time knocking. Whether I like the flavor or not, it's exactly what they're saying they're doing. So I don't hate the taste of bubble gum, but it's not what I'm not going to drink. Kids will destroy those. Kids would destroy that.
Superman Fago, yeah.
Accuracy to flavor, again, I'm going with a 9. It is very accurate to what they're going for, but drinkability, it's a 3.
Stomach ache.
Yeah, I could do maybe 3 or 4 swigs of that. I'm gonna go flavor maybe 5.
5?
5. But I was gonna say 6, but no, a 5.
That's what I got.
5.
That's such a lie. I don't have a soft 5. I have a soft 1.
I'll say 5. But accuracy, like you said, it's a 9. That's unbelievable.
Thank you for going with, it's super accurate and very, what it's going for. And you didn't give it a 10. Because you know that a 10 is for perfection.
Like chocolate donuts.
How many more
By
weeks
the way,
am I
I
gonna bring this up?
love Wonder Bread, and we can't get Wonder Bread around here. And I was just Googling last night, and
Huh?
When did that stop?
I don't know. I've never tried to buy it in 20 years because I'm not a fucking hillbilly.
well, anyways,
White trash.
can't get Wonder Bread.
Well,
I Googled anyways.
Tommy's making Wonder Bread and Miracle Whip sandwiches at home. I guarantee it.
Not Miracle Whip.
Why is your phone
I was
stuck to you?
I was Hellman's. I was Hellman's until I found out about Duke's. But anyways.
You need a Kewpie mayo.
Oh,
better.
Kewpie. I have tried. That's really good Japanese mayo.
Yeah.
Really good. But Wonder Bread makes frosted chocolate donuts. And I'm like, uh-oh.
Tommy, go home.
I found that out last night, and I'm like, you wait till I tell James.
I will. When we were young, there used to be a few miles up the road. I think it was in Madison Heights. It might have been on the border of Troy. I don't remember.
No. It's at 14 and a half in DeQuinder.
Yeah.
The
The Hostess
hostess
shop.
the one that
They used to throw away things that said they were going bad that day, and that brings me back to expiration dates.
Yeah.
They started locking their dumpster because me and my friends would go there and raid the dumpster. And they threw away hundreds of boxes of perfectly edible Hostess desserts.
and that's where I used to get the Wonder Bread.
Yeah, and so he's got Wonder Bread for you.
Wonder Bread at Kroger.
So we used to
It's out of stock.
we would raise
I tried it last night.
we would raid the Hostess bakery dumpster though.
The closest I get Wonder Bread is in Toledo.
We are on two
at
separate
Target in
conversations.
Toledo.
Okay, Tommy, you can.
I tried it last night.
You don't need Wonder Bread. Shut the fuck up.
It is good bread, though.
It's not good
It's-
bread.
it's
I
so
hate,
good.
I hate white bread in general. Well, shut up. Anyway,
Even the giant 24 slice loaf was out of stock.
okay, I'm not saying my Hostess story. You guys lost out.
No, go ahead. I'm
No,
sorry.
no,
I'm sorry.
No.
We're listening. We're
Not
just-
anymore. I don't want to say it anymore. I'm going to be a petty little whiny baby. So you guys don't get to hear my amazing Hostess story. So there you have it, folks. The Whopper's moving on to our next round. We're going to put it up against the Big Buford in 2 weeks. Next week, we're going to have Jessica on with some pickles. I think that concludes our day. Thanks to everyone for listening. Once again, I'm James. You got Tommy and Fridge. Monday night, meat and potatoes. Say bye, everyone.
Bye.
This has been Monday Night Meat and Potatoes. We have big opinions and even bigger appetites. Everyone loves food, but not like us. And everyone has an opinion, but not like us. Look, it's three foodies sitting around talking food, movies, sports, personal stories, and whatever the hell else we want to talk about. And we have fun. We hope you did too. If you did, make sure to like, rate, and review. We'll be back soon, but in the meantime, hit us up on Facebook and Instagram at Monday Night Meat and Potatoes, on X and TikTok at Monday Night MP. See you next time on Monday Night Meat and Potatoes.